Hello, I'm going to have a fight prediction video. It's Sergey Kovalev versus Andre Ward. So basically this video is going to be a bit different. Normally I talk about fight reviews and fight predictions and stuff like that, but this is more like a rant. So obviously, as you know, this past weekend, Andre Ward's face off against Sergey Kovalev for the unified light heavyweight titles. It was billed as the biggest fight of this year, which probably was, because when you think about it, Amir Khan fought Canelo Alvarez, but that was quite easy. Golovkin fought Kell Brook, but that was quite straightforward as well. There's a few interesting fights, but there wasn't really sort of like two marquee names apart from Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev to obviously fight each other, which they did last weekend. And the reason why this video is a bit different is because it's about what happened after the fight, which I'm going to talk about. So I haven't actually watched the fight because I don't need to watch it, because normally when I do these videos, of course, I talk about the fight and how it went and what's going to happen after, but it's just a robbery for Ward. I don't know how he won this fight. So basically, if you didn't watch it, I'll give you a brief summary without sort of trying to spoil the fight if people do want to go ahead after the video and watch the fight. So basically, Andre Ward coming to the fight, other than defeated, former middleweight champion, and of course is now campaigning light heavyweight. Sergey Kovalev was obviously light heavyweight champion for the last 3 years. Beat some tough opponents, and of course this is his toughest test against Andre Ward. And you know when you watch a fight and you can clearly tell the winner is there's a clear winner. He's better in every department. Yeah, he might win, he might lose a few rounds here and there, like the odd round here and there, but it's a 12-round fight unless he wins by knockout. So let me just break it down. So Kovalev got a knockdown in the second round, and he hurt Andre Ward in the first round. This is what I'm reading of, and I've read a lot of reviews and different websites and listened to a few YouTube videos as well, and everyone's opinion is the same. So you know when it's like that, the robbery is obviously clear. Andre Ward clinched a lot, and he basically did not sort of enough to win the fight. So obviously, if you're a champion, to take the belts from the champion, of course, you have to just, I guess, pull the performance out of your pull the performance of a lifetime out of your body, basically, to win it. And Andre Ward didn't do that. He threw left hooks, jabs, and he's just basically clinched. So how can he get 3 scorecards all in his favour and get a unanimous decision victory and clinch all those 3 belts? It just begs a question. Like, I'm just so annoyed of big boxing matches, or boxing matches period, where the judges screw over the other fighter. What did he do to deserve that? Absolutely nothing. And that's why I just think boxing is becoming, not becoming, sort of slowly will become like a sort of a joke, because yeah, you still got the really good fights, and there's still good fights to be made, and they will get made one way or another, and I guess 7 times out of 10 it'll be fine, but the other times it's a robbery. I'll give an example. It's not really the same thing, but back in 2013, Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, of course, for the light middleweight titles. Obviously he won basically every single round, gave him a boxing lesson, and obviously since then Canelo Alvarez obviously hasn't lost a fight, and he's obviously gone on to beat like Sergey Kovalev and Liam Smith to capture various world titles. But in that fight, it was a draw by one of the judges. See, that in my mind is still a robbery, because how can one person, so 2 people who have clearly scored the fight correctly, give a draw? Like, it just sort of makes your mind like wonder what they got to do to get the perfect score, because like Floyd Mayweather boxed him to death, really, didn't he? Like, he absolutely dominated him. So even this fight, basically, it's just annoying because all those fans that paid the money, pay for the fight, pay-per-view as well in various different countries, and Sergey Kovalev, who is a good fighter and has done all the things, he's done it the normal way, world title, defended it. I'm not sure if the opponents have been top quality, but he's picked out Andre Ward as his next opponent, and he deserved to win the fight. So it just makes you, it's just annoying because there's been so many fights recently that I heard of that have been robberies. Danny Garcia fought an opponent called, I think it was Herrera, I think that was 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, and he got given the victory as well when he clearly lost the fight. There's just so many victories. Like, think of a classic example, Roger Jr. back in the 1988 Olympics got absolutely robbed because of the judges. And it begs the question, what have they got to do to, what is, like, I guess boxing got to do to actually make it all fair? Because it's just very strange. And like, also as well, nothing wrong with the judges being all the same nationality, because obviously it's down to the commissions to, I think it's down to the commissioners' jobs to pick the judges. I think that's how it works. I'm not actually entirely sure. I should really know that, but I don't. There's nothing wrong having 3 American judges, but there is a problem when there's people like, was a problem when it's this fight, because Kovalev was the clear winner. Andre Ward got knocked down and he got dominated the majority of the fight, maybe won the odd round here and there, and it sort of begs the question, what were they judging it on? How are they judging it? Like, maybe it was one judge judging it differently to the other judge, which probably happens, of course, but like, sort of begs the question, because a rematch will probably happen, because I've heard rumours there's rematch clause, but it's like, what if he did enough the first time to get the win, and Andre Ward is a top quality opponent, so how is Kovalev gonna knock him out if Andre Ward is a really top quality opponent? He did the best he could have done to win that fight, didn't get the victory. What's he got to do? Like, go elsewhere and get like a random section of judges? Because you never know, he could put in a really bad performance the second time and lose again or something, so who knows? It's just really frustrating when I see fights in general that get robbed, and there's so many. Like, Amir Khan got probably, well, sort of debatable if he got robbed back in 2011 against Lamont Peterson for pushing, but then again, every ref is different and the judges are different as well. They're all sort of like, it's all down to their opinions, of course, but write in the comments down below what you think, about the fight on the Saturday. And of course, yeah, I should have really watched the fight before doing this video, but I've heard enough video reviews on YouTube, and I've read enough online to know that, like, it's sort of time to sort of put the question, what have fighters got to do now to really, what have fighters got to do to stop being robbed in fights like this one? It's just a joke, and it's becoming really annoying because the fans, like I said, pay all that money to go there for the fights, the pay-per-view money as well. It just feels like sometimes they're getting robbed, because I don't really pay for fights, because the last one I paid for was back in 2011, David Haye versus Klitschko, and that was obviously, that was a waste of time, because David Haye put in a rubbish performance. He deserved to lose. He deserved to lose because it was terrible. That's the last time I did a pay-per-view match, because it's just not really worth it. Like the Pacamova one, yeah, that of course should have been. I probably could have paid for that, but I didn't. I just watched it a couple of days after when it come up on Sky Sports, because it's just not worth paying the money. And I think eventually this keeps happening. This probably won't happen, of course, like to the sort of the degree I'm talking about, but eventually fans this keeps happening to big fights and big names, then the fans are going to get annoyed, and then the companies are going to lose money because they're not going to pay for the events. And eventually, on a bigger scale, of course this won't happen, but like the fans they'll lose numbers for the people who actually go and watch the fight live. So just put in the comments down below what you think about the decision. Of course, everyone's got their own opinion. Some people say Andre Ward deserved to win, because obviously it's 50-50 and everyone's allowed their own opinion. But write in the comments down below what you think about the fight, and like, share your views, and give it a like and share if you can, and see you in the next video.